Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Smackdown Anniversary 4-pack Elite box set. I think that's what we'll go with. That's what we'll go with. Anyways, without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. I guess I don't technically know what this Elite set was called. I guess it's I think it's the anniversary of Smackdown, so like the Smackdown Anniversary 4-pack Elite. No, nothing's rolling off the tongue. I don't know. All I know is I'm really excited to get to these. I've been really pumped since I saw them. I think we just got digital renders on WWE.com, so I've been looking forward to this. Very, very nostalgic about this pack. The Booker T and Austin, I think, look pretty good. The Cena and Eddie, I think, look good, but I like just looking at all of these. I think I have a couple small issues with like each individual thing, but I don't know. I'll get the box open, take a look. We've got a lot to look at, a lot of accessories, a lot of cloth goods, new sculpts. There's a lot to this pack, and it's pretty pricey at like $69.99, $70. Or maybe it's even more than that. $79. I don't remember. I guess $20 for each Elite kind of makes sense, but just on the box, nothing too crazy. This is the big Smackdown circle that used to be on the stage. We've got both sets of names on each side. My box is smashed to complete hell over here. It's all right. I'm not a mint inbox guy. Even like I don't think this is that like wild of a box. Like I feel like they're kind of tame as far as just how artistic they got with the box. I feel like this, if I was a inbox, I'd be kind of disappointed. They've got the biography, I guess, for both these on each side. The Booker T, Steve Austin, I like that this whole set is all street gear. Typically that's something I wouldn't like, but I've been enjoying that a little bit more, kind of because of Jazzwares. It kind of got me on that kick. With the Booker and Austin is from their fight when they were in the grocery store, and then John Cena and Eddie Guerrero, they had their parking lot brawl while they were feuding for the U.S. title. So there were, I know we got versions, Jack's versions of the Cena and the Eddie, and then I guess I don't technically know if we got like this specific version of Booker and Stone Cold in the Jax line, but we definitely got street gear versions of them. So I do have some stuff I'll compare to with the Booker for sure. But there's a lot I want to talk about. So if you want to look at anything else on the box, there it is for you. But we're moving on. All right. So first thing, and this was one of the very first things I thought when they first revealed this was, I am not a fan of how they did Booker T's hair. I don't think it looks good. I'm not sure if it's because they took a head sculpt that they had already and just gave him a new hair piece, but I do not think it looks good. I think it's too small. I think it's too flat, and I do not think it comes across well. I've wanted this era of Booker T for quite a while, and I assume they're going to give us another Booker T from this era with using this head sculpt. But I'm not a fan. I don't think it came across well. I think it should be a little bit longer and stick out a little bit more. I'm just, I don't know. I think it is like the forehead is gigantic, and I think that's maybe what throws it off for me, but I'm not a fan of that. I do have like I said, I have a Jax head sculpt that I'm going to show you guys. But I'm not going to talk about just the head sculpt the whole time. There's plenty of other things to get to. I did look up the grocery store fight. So I had like I said, I had a Jax version of this Booker T, or this era. So the Jax version I had, they didn't have cloth goods shirts, I don't think. So It was a painted torso. It said, "Tell me you didn't just say that." And then it had the white like wind pants. So that's the look that I kind of think of. But then going back and looking at the grocery store scene, he was wearing jeans and his shirt was tucked in. So I would have kind of liked, like, I'm never really gonna complain about cloth goods. I like getting cloth goods. You can obviously move those around. But for this case, I think I would have liked the like Farouk torso, so he had that tucked in look, because that's what the shirt looked like. You can clearly see the belt buckle when you like go and look at pictures or videos. So I feel like that might have been a little bit of a miss too. Just I'm just not super impressed with the Booker T, which is disappointing because, like I said, I've been wanting a Invasion era Booker T for quite some time. I've made my own custom of that, like the late WCW, WWE angle. I'm trying to move some things around here. So here is a Jack's head for this Booker T. Here's my Invasion Booker T. I use the Mr. T torso, Booker T legs and everything. So we'll swap these heads around here. It might end up sitting a little too tall. If I can get it off. There we go. Yeah, it's a little tall, but I think this head is way better. And I've talked about Jax, like the skin tone's not a perfect match there. I've talked about Jax and how I've always thought they did sculpts really well. Well, a lot of times they did a lot of really good sculpts, and I give them the win on this one. Here's the Booker T. So there they are with their heads swapped. And I think this one is way better. I guess you guys can let me know what you think. I'm disappointed. You can see here, like, back on the hair too, the back of the heads. I just think Jax did a way better job on this Booker head sculpt. Whoops. But let's swap these heads back here. We'll keep moving on, because we don't need to spend the whole time just complaining about head sculpts. You're going to have wins, you're going to take some losses on figures, but there's a lot more to this pack than just the Booker. The torso, I assume underneath is just his normal, like, Triple H size torso. There's tattoos. Nothing crazy there. Normal, just jeans mold here. Nothing special with that. Pretty sure he had a gold buckle on his belt, but that's just being picky. I could be wrong. He does come with the extra hands here. Open hands. And then Stone Cold is, I don't even know if it's any different than the 4-pack that we got with him, Hogan, Rock, and Becky Lynch. Exactly the same mold. These legs are pretty warped. My 4-pack Stone Cold, the legs I had to heat up quite a bit. They're pinless, but they're the new jean mold, which I like quite a bit. He's got the same torso as always. This shirt is accurate. Maybe not to every minor detail, but from what I could tell, that shirt is accurate. He does come with a wristwatch, which I think is awesome. We saw that with the Maivia Legacy Pack Rock. The milk carton is actually molded in here, which I thought was pretty cool. I expected it to just have a little handle on it, but that milk's not going to be going anywhere, which I'm surprised they gave us just a special mold for him to hold milk. I think that's great. Don't think that's a new sculpt. We've gotten that a few times. As far as extra hands go, he's got 2-fisted hands, another open hand, and then he's got some mustard, because he also covered Booker T with a lot of stuff. So they really did have their pick of what groceries they wanted to include. So the milk is like the iconic scene when he's just chugging milk while he's whooping Booker T. But I think they did a pretty solid job. As far as the Stone Cold goes, I think a lot of the time and money went into the cloth goods. And then we do get the new Eddie Guerrero sculpt, which we'll get to. and I mean, technically this is a new sculpt for Booker T, but it's a reused head with a new hair mold. So a little, I'll give it like a B, a B so far. Not a B minus, not a B plus. We'll just give it a solid B. So let's look at Eddie and John Cena and see how we're feeling about it then. All right, so next up we have the Cena and the Eddie. And the first thing I'm going to say is that I wish they would make a new jeans mold that accommodated shorter wrestlers. They only really have, so they're both on the pinless jeans mold, and it makes them about the same height. Eddie was not tall. There's a lot of guys we get that are not tall, but they have the same jeans mold as everybody else, so then they're just the same height as everybody else. The just look of them, I think they look good. I like that they have two different shades of their jeans. I like that they gave them that detail instead of just giving them the same color. And I like that they have the wash and dry, like the dry brush look on them. They look like jeans, and I appreciate that very much. But these small, like as many new molds as we are getting for legs, I don't think it would kill Mattel to give us a new jeans mold to actually give us some variation in the height of the wrestlers. The other couple things I have is that the gloves on Cena are just plain gray hands. We saw, so I'm not going to have, I don't know if I'll be able to get it on the channel today. It'll probably be sometime this week, but I also picked up the Jamal and Rosie figures, and I think the Jamal, I'm pretty sure, has his hand, his gloves have detail on them. They're not just a plain color, and we didn't need anything crazy. If you would have just given me like some black on the back of the hands or something to make it look different than just a plain gray glove, I really would have liked that. The Eddie in the match, he wore two very large black elbow pads. I would have appreciated that a lot. I don't know, like, I know I say I don't know how the budget broke down. I'm sure there's some reason, but little things like that bother me. Mattel doesn't always do that a lot. I've got plenty of elbow pads. I'll throw some on at the end once I get everything back up here. But that's just another minor thing. And then the last small thing with the Cena is that he at least got the tan shoes and the white soles on them, but he was wearing boots, and they have a boot mold. I don't know why they can't just put the boot mold on him. I think that would have helped. I think that would have made a huge difference, because it does just look like he has on tan wrestling boots, and it's not the end of the world. It's not something that I'm gonna have posted that I'm always gonna be looking at on my shelves anyway. He's gonna probably be in the second or third row. But for the most part, that's not a deal breaker for me. Going through this Cena, both of these heads are reuse. This is such a weird pack, because it feels like they did a lot, but it also feels like they did a little at the same time. The jersey he wore a Brian Urlacher jersey. Cena did always wear 54. I think that's what his college football number was. So they just pass it off as a Cena jersey. I know they can't make a Bears jersey, so I'm not going to give them any hate for that. They did a good job. They got everything besides the orange outline. I think that's just the way they get around the copywriting and everything. Here's a headband. It is removable. Like I said, both of these heads I think we've gotten multiple times now. This definitely came with the Ultimate Edition. I think we've gotten so many Cenas, I forget exactly where, but I know we've seen both of these sculpts. Arms are the same arms we've gotten for John. Nothing crazy there. Triple H size torso. And then the Eddie. So this is just, I need them to to find something and settle on it. So maybe this is what they're doing. But this Eddie Guerrero has the pale skin tone. The Ultimate Edition we just saw has the pale skin tone. The Greatest Hits that is coming out looks like it has the tan skin tone. I do have a couple Eddies nearby here. This is the skin tone they're moving away from with the massive Eddie. So there's one skin tone. There's the pale skin tone. And let's see, where is the Hall of Champions Eddie? Has the tan skin tone. And those all just look so different. And obviously, look this one towers over the other two. And I I saw someone comment about this head sculpt, and I was trying to think of it before the video. And what they said was that it looks like JBL cosplaying Eddie Guerrero. And before I put these two up here, I didn't think that, but right next to each other, I 100% think this looks like JBL cosplaying Eddie Guerrero. I don't think it's necessarily a bad head sculpt. I think it's just kind of the hair and expression. Like, I think it's a pretty good likeness for Eddie. Um, but I do think it's funny because now that I look at it, I can kind of see it. I like that we're getting the cheat to win. Obviously, cloth goods. I'm happy for both of these. This works, unlike the Booker. The Booker, like, when they have tucked in shirts, I don't mind them using the t-shirt mold, and they don't do that very often. The both of these were done by Jax, and I'll say I ragged on Mattel a little bit to start out, but I think Mattel did much better. The Cena didn't have, like, it was molded shirts, which was the norm for the time. But like the Cena sculpt on that one wasn't, I didn't love the jersey, like he didn't have any of the numbers or anything. So I will definitely give Mattel their props on this one. I do like these. I'd like to see him on a, well, I guess I don't have an Eddie over here that has a pale body. I guess I have the Ultimate Edition on hand here. So let's take that off. So this is kind of like a Radicals Eddie, you could say, when he came over to WWE with the like shorter hair look. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I like that. The short hair, I wish it was a little longer in the back, like a little bit more of a mullet, but it was kind of hard to tell with the reference. Like, I was trying to look at a video of it beforehand, but it seemed to fit pretty well. The arms too, so he's got the big arms. The torso for this one is the like Neville the DDP torso, and he's had such, I think that is typically what his elites would get, but it's just pale skin tone, so with the larger arms, so it's kind of throwing me off. I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about this set. Let me get everything back up here, all back to the stock in the box, and I'll give some final thoughts. I lied. Before the final thoughts, I did want to take a look at the articulation. Since we've got the pinless legs, mine move all right. They kind of click hard. So I think Mattel's taking a step in the right direction with the pinless stuff. But here, arms are moving good. Sometimes the arms get stuck. But see, sometimes you get legs that are really hard to move. And if you just break a figure because you're trying to articulate it the way it's meant to be, I think that's ridiculous. I haven't had it happen yet, but I can see it happening with someone else that's, I guess, less careful trying to maneuver that. So now I'm going to get everything together, take a look. Okay, so wrapping things up here. I think I'm disappointed. I think they look good. I think they did a lot of good. It just feels like they just didn't, it wasn't a home run. I don't think it's a bad set. I think like the Maivia pack, I really like that one. I think that one was a lot better. I was really, really excited about the Monday Night Wars Ultimates I just unboxed and reviewed. I feel like Mattel's just really been on a roll lately. And as much as excited as I was when I saw this revealed, it just didn't land as smoothly as I was expecting. So I definitely think this is one, I think it's going to sit on shelves a bit because it's expensive. It's $80, even though that's technically a deal on the elites. It's not, like, that's a lot of money to spend at one time. And I know we've got Cena and Eddie and Stone Cold, Booker T. We've got heavy hitting guys in this, but they're in street clothes. They're in one-off weird attires. So I can see this sitting. So if you are interested in this, if you're on the fence, wait till it hits clearance. Wait till it hits ollies. I think Mattel's done much better work, and I'm sure we're gonna see a bunch of stuff revealed that I'm gonna forget about this in a few days anyway. But I've got it. It's gonna go on my shelf. At the end of the day, I'm still happy. Anytime I get some ruthless aggression stuff, I'm happy. And of course, we keep adding to the Attitude Era shelf. And maybe with this head, we'll finally get some Booker T's, even though I said I didn't like it that much. But I'd love to know you guys' thoughts if you've picked this up. Just kind of a weird pack. I don't hate it, don't love it. I said I'd give it a B, just looking at Stone Cold and Booker, and I'd say B minus. If you said you wanted to give it a C plus, from what you've experienced with yours or what you saw from what I talked about today, I wouldn't argue with that either. But hopefully here on out, we've already gotten some stuff announced, so hopefully that it hits home a little better, hits a home run, and I walk away a little happier. But nonetheless, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you very much. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, and remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.